Throughout a lifetime, we work, we live, we laugh, and we love. More importantly, we touch people's lives in many different ways. The best part is being able to step into a new phase of life, like retirement, with a chance to share our success with those from our journey that we touched. The real secret of success is enthusiasm.
Dan is amazing. The most important lesson I've learned from him is how important people are, especially people who work here at TruWest. In the Great Recession of 08, 09, we're hemorrhaging money, as everyone was. We were really struggling. I mean, it was, we didn't know how bad it was going to get. And it's a no-brainer to say, we need to let some people go. And Dan just said, I'm not going to do that. That's going to be our last resort. I'd rather dim the lights and shut the air conditioning than just let people go. Only 6 people had to leave throughout the entire recession, which was amazing. And it's all really thanks to Dan's dedication to the people that work here. And that's my takeaway as Dan's legacy, at least for me. Big difference for me is make sure that people count and they know they count.
Wow, I've known Dan for a little over 20 years. When I first came to TruWest, and he was not yet even the CEO, but the Chief Financial Officer. Dan really welcomed me and has continued to do so throughout my career and supported me, pushed me, to get more involved with the political aspect of credit unions. Dan has always watched out for me, introduced me to contacts, invited me to be part of his golf foursome, which was a big mistake, and invited me to sit down with him and Jerry at dinners, which was much appreciated. Dan is genuine and enthusiastic with staff. Dan is passionate about helping those in need, and this especially shows in his commitment to the annual charity breakfast and auction, supporting Phoenix Children's Hospital and their One Darn School program in the past, but most recently, their Camp Rainbow program.
I've worked with Dan for 25 years. One of the things that comes up sometimes is character in people. And I dare you to find any flaws in Dan. He's just a great guy all the way around. He cares about his people, protects his credit union, and his enthusiasm to help anytime is always there. One time, about 20 years ago, I was invited to my very first budget meeting. I had no accounting experience whatsoever. Dan knew it right away. We had all VPs in the area. He did the timeout sign. He said, hey, let's take a 15-minute break. Jay, you stay. So Dan got up, came around the table. The CEO sat next to me, took out a piece of paper and a pen, and basically taught me Accounting Principles 101. It allowed me to gather the information I needed to be able to talk intelligently later in the meeting. I knew that he cared about me. I knew he was going to be a great leader. And I think the guy is all right.
Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful.
Dan started out in 1981 in the accounting department, quickly rose through the ranks to CFO, and when he was called upon, stepped up to take on the CEO role, a totally different kind of role than his financial one. But he did it with confidence and great success. Throughout all of it, no matter how difficult it was, Dan kept his composure and his cool, even though I know for a fact that he didn't always feel that way. We are now at nearly 75,000 members. We're now at nearly $1 billion in assets. Somehow Dan managed to find the time to also get elected to as table officer to both the Arizona Credit Union League and the Mountain States Credit Union Association. And also in his spare time, he took over as the chairman of the First Corp Corporate Credit Union. So there was a lot of fun and a lot of successes. And also along the way, there were quite a few emoluments given and received, which is one of Dan's favorite words.
Well, there's so many stories about Dan that makes me smile. We had a lot of fun together over the last 10 years as a partner, friend, mentor, a lot of happy times. One of the first ones was when he first said yes to be a partner with us in CUFN and trusted me and our teams. Really one of my happiest moments and being with Dan and his family was when he won the Vote Cup Award. I've always been impressed with Dan's commitment to the community and the Children's Miracle Network auction, all the money he's responsible for raising over the years to give back to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. And it's been such a fun event, you know, from an employee involvement standpoint, just to contribute to the community. Very impressive as a leader, as a role model.
I've worked with Dan now for over 33 years. And I think first and foremost, Dan has been a great boss. Personally, for me, he's been just really a great mentor to me, and really a great friend over all these years. And TruWest is just a very happy place to be. And it's really evolved over time with Dan. Every once in a while, Dan will lean back and he'll say, you know what, Gary, I'm calling bullshit on this. He's got those glasses that are kind of down low, and he'll say, now, Gary, this is not a big deal at all, and when you get a chance, well, translated, that means drop everything you're doing, see if you can get this done, because I'm going to be back in 20 minutes to go ahead and see where you're at. He's been a very big influence on me personally and professionally. I'm going to miss him, having him around and swapping those stories.
Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life, it's about what you inspire others to do.
Dan and I met 38 years ago, July 2nd, 1977, and we went to a wedding. So we went to this wedding, and a mutual friend introduced us. Afterwards, everybody from the wedding went to a party, and after the party, Dan had told me that he had lent his car to his brother, his younger brother, and asked for a ride back to his apartment. You're not going to believe this, but I don't have any change. Do you have 20 cents? And so I was like, yeah, sure. He made his phone call to his buddy, who he had the apartment with, and then he came back to the car and said, would you mind taking me back to the party? And so that night, he asked for my phone number, and I thought, what the heck? I feel like I've worked here as long as he has, because we've done this together. It's going to be hard, very, very hard to leave. I can't hardly talk to anybody from here without getting choked up. So they're going to miss you, hon. And, but it's my turn with you. And so let's go on a great second honeymoon. And you still owe me the 20 cents.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
When I think of Dan Desmond, I think of a truly great leader, somebody who it's been a privilege to work with, a family man, someone who loves his wife, Jerry, deeply, his children, Casey, Danny, and Shannon, and somebody who brings that sense of family to work. When people come to TruWest Credit Union to work each day, they know that they're coming to be part of a family, have a chance to grow professionally, and when they go home each day, they'll know that they've truly made a difference in the lives of people, and that's because of Dan and his focus on members and the employees here at TruWest Credit Union. The recession was a tough time for all financial institutions in the Valley, including TruWest, a time when we had to make serious cost cuts, and people were worried about their job. But people could tell by just looking in Dan's eyes that everything was going to be okay. And it was. Dan has created a great learning environment here at the credit union, both through his training department that's created programs like Common Bond, and by fostering professional growth in each and every member here at the credit union.
If I had to sum up Dan in one word, that would be genuine. He is what you see is what you get. Dan also genuinely cares about the employees. Throughout the years that I've been here, when he makes a decision, he always wants to know how it impacts the employees and their families. What he did for me and for a number of us is not just talk about the movement or caring about the members, but putting the words into action. It's been a privilege and an honor working for Dan. When he walks into my office with either his statement or his iPhone, and he says, I think we have a little problem, so whenever you have time, not a rush, just drop by. Well, by that time, your blood pressure is probably in the 170s, and you're thinking, what is the problem? How big is the problem? How many members is impacted? And the way he handles it, again, very graciously, but the scare that's put in you is comical, but at the same time, serious. We meet every Monday. All the senior managers meet. And one of the things we discuss during the meeting is if somebody's going to be off for a period of time, and they give the date. And as soon as we're done, Dan opens his laptop and says, well, we'll see about that. It's been a privilege and an honor working for Dan, and he will be greatly missed.
On the eve of one of the board meetings, Dan mentioned to the senior team that this upcoming board meeting we were unable to wear shoes that had laces. And being the new person in the particular group, I didn't know how to react to that. I didn't know what to think. Dan referred to a past board meeting that seemed like it was many, many years ago, where he had been getting some flack from various board members. And after he had got done explaining the particular question or answering it to the best of his ability, Dan looked over to the senior team. And to his surprise, dismay, as it turns out, everyone had their heads underneath their tables like a bunch of ostriches, tying their shoelaces. This would never happen again because of Dan's leadership, his spirit, his ability to communicate with all of us, that would never put anybody on the island like he must have felt. And as a master of his success, Dan understood a quote that just came to mind from P.T. Barnum. Money is an terrible master, but an excellent servant. And of course, I think Dan knew that very early, and I think that has guided a lot of what he has done.
Asking for time off here at TruWest should be really simple, you would think. So, you send the request in through the system, and in a status meeting, you might just put out a reminder to the team that you'll be out of the office next week. But Dan will stop the conversation. He'll say, whoa, let's look at the calendar. And he brings his computer up, and in that moment, your Disneyland vacation flashes before your eyes. But Dan really lives out balancing work and life and encourages that with his team. Dan works hard, he cares deeply for the credit union, but has an even greater commitment to Jerry and his family, and maybe even his golf game on the weekend.
Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we touch. Congratulations on a successful career of almost 35 years at TruWest, with 18 as the president and CEO. Daniel Desmond.
Hey Dad, congratulations on your retirement. We had thought it had been a couple years since you retired, as much golf as you play, but we are happy to hear that you finally have actually retired. One quick story I do have is that one time my dad had a dinner party for his board of directors at our house. My mom wanted to get all of us kids and him out of the house to clean, so my dad took us to play basketball down at the park. So we were playing around a little bit. One play, I had gone up for a rebound and came down with my elbow right on my dad's forehead. He had a big gash, and suffice it to say, we had to spend the next few hours in the emergency room. But we did make it to the dinner party, so all ended well. So thank you, Dad, very much. Thank you for being a great support system to all of us. We love you, and congratulations.
Happy retirement. We love you. Bye.
Bye, we love you.
My dad always used to come to my soccer games, and as I was getting ready for college, we started filming the games so we could watch them back or send them off to colleges. And I always remember we would go home and watch them, so excited to see what was on them. And it would start out initially focused on the game, and as my dad would get into it, his voice would get a little bit louder and he'd get more excited, and then all of a sudden we'd be seeing more of his pant pockets and the grass beneath his feet. And it's just such a good reminder that through all my life, I've never had to question whether or not I had a father who supported me or loved me, and that's just something I'm so thankful for.
Happy retirement, Dad. Hello, everyone. One of my earliest memories of Dad is when I was jet skiing with him out on a lake, and we were having a great time, and I remember asking him a question or something, and I didn't get an answer. So I quickly realized that he was no longer on the jet ski with me. I was about 3 or 4 years old, on a big vehicle going about 40 miles an hour. And eventually I kind of turned towards the dock to see all my family and loved ones, and was going towards them at a high speed, and everyone was kind of yelling at me and I couldn't really hear them, and I eventually heard hit the red button, which meant stop, and I was able to kind of put it all together. And I think the lesson that my dad taught me that day was to be my own man, to kind of take matters into my own hands, make my own decisions, and definitely don't crash jet skis into docks filled with your family and friends and loved ones. Thanks, Dad, for everything. I love you. You're the best.
Dad, thank you so much for showing me what it means to live a life of integrity. I hope you enjoy every moment of living your life out on the golf course. We love you, we're so proud of you, and enjoy your retirement.
Mr. Desmond, thanks for being a wonderful example of what it means to be a father and a husband, and best of luck in retirement.
Dan, congratulations. Well done, sir.
Dan, after 35 years, it's time. Congratulations. I wish you the very best on your retirement, and thank you for everything you've done for us, TruWest, and myself personally. Enjoy your retirement.
Dan, on behalf of the CUFN board and the CUFN team and myself, we just want to say thank you very much. We could not have done it without you these last 10 years. We appreciate your leadership, your partnership, and your friendship. We wish you the very best. Congratulations, and have fun in retirement.
So Dan, congratulations on a career well played. From all of us on the board, from the members, from your communities, from the staff, thanks for everything. Thanks for all the contributions over the years. And if you're ever looking for us going forward, you know where to find us.
Dan, you've been a big influence on me personally and professionally, and I wish you all the best in retirement. It's certainly well deserved.
Congratulations, Dan. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sail. Explore, dream, discover. Again, congratulations, Dan. I wish you only the best and hope to see you many, many times at the Raven in the years ahead.
Dan, on behalf of the technology organization at TruWest and personally from my family, thank you so much for your service. You will be dearly missed, and we wish you all the best with Jerry in retirement.
Dan, I will miss you, your leadership and vision, and wish you a blessed retirement, and hope you enjoy everything you wanted to do when you retire. I will truly miss you, and thank you, Dan.
Dan, congratulations on your retirement. I'm gonna miss you. You're a great guy. Yes, I still work here. I know you always ask that, but yes, I still do. God bless.
Well, Dan, I can't believe you made it. Congratulations. This has been an amazing experience for me. 13 years flew by like that. And I just can't thank you enough for your honesty, your kindness, your wisdom, and your caring. It has meant a lot, and I've always seen you as a mentor, and I hope to keep your vision and legacy going for TruWest far into the future. Best of luck. Don't be a stranger. I love you.
Congratulations, Dan, and let's get going to Hawaii.